Good afternoon. I'm Kenneth Moten. We're coming on with breaking news. Officials in San Francisco are giving an update after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul, was assaulted during a break-in at their residence. Again, San Francisco police holding a news conference. Let's listen in.
Hey. Hey, Rob, can we close that door so we don't get the noise? Okay, good morning. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody. My name is Chief Bill Scott with the San Francisco Police Department. At approximately 2:27 this morning, San Francisco police officers were dispatched to the residence of Speaker Nancy Pelosi regarding an A-priority well-being check. When the officers arrived on scene, they encountered an adult male and Mr. Pelosi's husband, Paul. Our officers observed Mr. Pelosi and the suspect both holding a hammer. The suspect pulled the hammer away from Mr. Pelosi and violently assaulted him with it. Our officers immediately tackled the suspect, disarmed him, took him into custody, requested emergency backup, and rendered medical aid. The suspect has been identified as 42-year-old David DePepe. Mr. Pelosi and Mr. DePepe were transported to a local hospital for treatment. This is an active investigation currently being led by the San Francisco Police Department Special Investigations Division. We are working closely with our partners from the FBI, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the U.S. Capitol Police, and our district attorney here in San Francisco County, DA Brooke Jenkins, and her team. The motive for this attack is still being determined. Mr. DePepe will be booked at the San Francisco County Jail on the following charges: attempted homicide, assault with a deadly weapon, elder abuse, burglary, and several other additional felonies. Before I go any further, I'd like to thank the responding officers for their swift action this morning. Those San Francisco police officers are Officer Colby Wilmus, Officer Kyle Cagney, and Sergeant Edmund Hoang. I'd also like to thank our emergency dispatcher, Heather Grimes, who's standing here to my left, for a really amazing job. For inquiries regarding Mr. Pelosi and his condition, we refer you to the statement issued by Speaker Pelosi's office this morning. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our District Attorney, Brooke Jenkins, for a few brief comments. And let me say in advance, this is what we know at this time. We will update you further, but we will not be able to take any questions after this statement.
Thank you, Chief Scott, and I do want to commend the San Francisco Police Department for their immediate response to this home and for swiftly making sure that Mr. Pelosi was okay and that the suspect was apprehended. We are working closely with them right now with respect to the investigation and will proceed with the appropriate charges as things unfold, as well as work with the U.S. Attorney's Office and our federal partners. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all for being here. I know you may have, we'll update you when we get more.
Do you know how he got into the house?
That's it for right now. We're not going to take any questions. Thank you. Our office will be issuing a news release very soon, but that's it for now. Thank you.
You were just listening to San Francisco Police Chief Bill Scott giving an update after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked inside their California home this morning. The chief saying that the incident, or at least they got the call for the incident at 2:27 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Police called that scene. Officers, according to the police chief, encountered an adult male, the suspect, and Mr. Pelosi, both apparently holding a hammer, according to the chief. But again, it was apparently officers observed, according to the chief, that the suspect took that hammer away from Mr. Pelosi and allegedly attacked him. Again, the suspect identified as a 42-year-old man who is in police custody. and Mr. Pelosi is being treated at a local hospital. Fortunately, said to be doing okay, and said that he will be fully recovering from his injuries. The police chief saying that they're working with Capitol Police and FBI in this investigation. It's still a preliminary investigation as well. I want to bring in our Catherine Falders, our investigative reporter here at ABC, and Jared Bergwan, our former chief of police in San Bernardino, California, and ABC News contributor. You were listening with me to that news conference. Catherine, let me start with you. You heard him say that, again, they're working with the FBI and Capitol Police on this as well.
Yeah, they said that they were working with their law enforcement partners on this, that it was an active investigation being led by the San Francisco Police Department. They did say, Kenneth, that this motive for the attack still trying to be determined here. They said that this man who they named as David DePepe, that he will be charged with attempted homicide, assault with a deadly weapon, elder abuse, and burglary. He said also several additional felonies. They didn't take any questions. They said that they would come back to the podium when they had an update, but that was really all that they provided right now. And as he said, it's still under active investigation. You heard a reporter there shout, how did this person get into the house? A big question about the security surrounding Pelosi's house that you see right there as well.
Again, Jared, we heard the list of charges: attempted homicide, elder abuse, several additional felonies as well. The suspect accused of attacking Paul Pelosi with a hammer. This is obviously, the list of charges here is pretty long.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're going to get longer as well. And it's important to note that at this point, those are all state charges. The chief did mention that they are working hand in hand with the FBI, U.S. Capitol Police, as well as the U.S. Attorney, which would imply that they are going to do a parallel investigation, and there may very well be federal charges that will supersede the state charges at some point in this process.
Again, suspects tell ABC News, or excuse me, sources tell ABC News that the suspect allegedly broke into the Pelosi residence through a sliding glass and was shouting, "Where's Nancy?" before allegedly striking Paul Pelosi. Again, that's sources to ABC News. We're getting a lot of reaction at this hour, Catherine, after this brutal attack on Paul Pelosi.
Yeah, look, the White House is weighing in. The president spoke to Nancy Pelosi this morning, according to a statement from the White House. He's also spoken with Chuck Schumer. There's the White House statement right there. Look, it's important to point out, actually, from the statement that you see, the White House is saying the president continues to condemn all violence and asks for the family's desire for privacy to be respected. That's what we're hearing, this condemnation of violence from statements that are coming in from the president, from members of Congress, for example. We know Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has weighed in. He said that he's spoken to Pelosi this morning and that he is praying for the recovery of her husband. We also know that Leader McCarthy, the Republican Leader McCarthy, says that he tried to reach Pelosi, that this violence shouldn't be tolerated. And Kenneth, as you and I spoke about earlier, the House Republican whip, Steve Scalise, who suffered a gunshot wound at a baseball game, a Capitol baseball game, he's weighing in, saying that he's praying for a recovery, that this violence shouldn't be tolerated at all. Of course, all of these statements beg the question, and you heard it from police there, what was the motive behind this break-in?
And let's bring in ABC's correspondent, Mola Lenghi, who's there on the scene outside Pelosi's home in San Francisco. Mola, you were also listening to that news conference. Very few details from police, but there's still a very active scene out there.
Yeah, that's right, Kenneth. Police still here. The entire block where Nancy Pelosi's home is located behind me is taped off. So still a police presence out here. And what we have learned, according to law enforcement sources close to the incident, that the break-in at Nancy Pelosi's home appeared to have been a targeted attack. 42-year-old man, as you mentioned, David DePape, was arrested. He is the suspect. He was taken into custody on numerous charges, including attempted homicide. According to the San Francisco Police Department, the attack happened overnight around 2:30 in the morning. The suspect allegedly breaking into the house through a sliding glass door. hour. Two law enforcement sources close to the matter say the suspect, again, was carrying a hammer and apparently looking for the speaker herself, calling out, "Where is Nancy? Where is Nancy?" upon breaking in. Paul Pelosi, her 82-year-old husband, was ultimately attacked during the course of that break-in. He was taken to a hospital. Law enforcement sources say that he was taken there with significant injuries, but again, he is expected to recover. According to the speaker's office, she was not home at the time. She was not even in San Francisco. But again, the investigation is being conducted jointly, led by the San Francisco Police Department with the assistance of Capitol Police as well as the FBI. Kenneth.
Jared, again, the motive here under investigation, even though our sources are telling us that that this person was looking for Nancy Pelosi. The suspect was looking for Nancy Pelosi when he entered that house, shouting, "Where's Nancy?" as we've been reporting here. You look at this and political violence against U.S. politicians, especially one that's third in line to the presidency, and obviously this is a serious investigation.
Yeah, you know, that's an ongoing concern that everybody that has a responsibility over protecting our lawmakers has. The political discord in this country has really aggravated that situation. I would like to point out there's something interesting about what the chief said in the press conference, and that is that officers were dispatched on essentially a welfare check. So it was not a crime in progress. It was not an assault in progress. I'd be curious to know where that ultimately came from. Was that somebody monitoring security cameras that we know were at the residence that alerted the police to something that they saw? Or was it a neighbor that called concerned about the noises? But absolutely, the security piece to all of our elected officials is of concern to those that are charged with protecting them.
All right, Jared, Mola, Catherine, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Just to recap here, San Francisco police telling us in that news conference that the suspect in this attack on Paul Pelosi, the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, is 42-year-old David DePape. We are trying to learn more about this suspect. Again, he is in custody at this hour. And again, FBI, Capitol Police are all involved in this investigation. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was not home at the time. She, as we understand it, here in D.C., we will find out if she plans to travel back to California to be by her husband's side. But we will have continuing coverage of this story throughout the day here on ABC News Live. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.